Every person who dreams about success eventually asks the same question: what truly leads to greatness? Is it motivation, that powerful burst of inspiration that makes you feel unstoppable? Or is it discipline, the quiet force that pushes you forward, even when you feel tired, bored, or unmotivated? At first glance, motivation seems like the obvious answer. It feels powerful. It feels exciting when motivation hits you. Suddenly want to work harder, wake up earlier, chase your goals, and change your life. But the truth is, something many people don't realize until much later. Motivation might start the journey, but discipline is what wins the race. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days you wake up feeling energized, confident, and ready to conquer the world. You feel inspired by a video, a quote, or a success story. In those moments, working hard feels easy. You believe in yourself and everything seems possible, but the problem with motivation is that it doesn't last the next day. You might wake up feeling tired. Your mind might tell you to rest a little longer, scroll through your phone, or postpone your goals until tomorrow. Suddenly, the excitement disappears. This is where most people fail. They depend completely on motivation. When motivation disappears, their progress stops. They wait for another burst of inspiration before taking action again. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months, and slowly their dreams remain exactly where they started, only as dreams. Discipline works in a completely different way. Discipline does not rely on emotions. Discipline is a decision. It is the commitment to do what must be done, whether you feel like doing it or not. Discipline means showing up on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. It means working when others are relaxing. It means continuing even when progress feels slow. Think about athletes who train for years to reach the top of their sport. Do you think they wake up every single day feeling motivated? Of course not. Some days their bodies are exhausted. Some days they feel discouraged. Some days they would rather stay in bed, but discipline forces them to get up and train anyway. That consistency is what separates champions from everyone else. The same principle applies to every area of life. Students who succeed in their studies do not study only when they feel motivated. Entrepreneurs who build successful businesses do not work only when they feel inspired. Artists who master their craft do not create only when the mood is perfect. They rely on discipline to guide their actions day after day. Motivation can be compared to a spark. It can ignite the fire inside you. It can make you start something new. But discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire burning for years. Without discipline, motivation fades quickly and the fire dies out. Another reason discipline wins is because it builds habits. When you repeat an action consistently, it eventually becomes automatic. At first, it might feel difficult to wake up early, exercise regularly, or focus on your work. But if you continue doing it every day, your brain begins to adapt. What once felt hard slowly becomes normal. Discipline transforms effort into routine. Habits are powerful because they remove the need for constant motivation. When something becomes a habit, you do it almost without thinking. You don't argue with yourself every morning about whether you should work or not. You simply follow the routine you have created. There will always be obstacles on the path to success. You will face failure, criticism, self-doubt, and moments of frustration. Motivation alone cannot carry you through these difficult times. When things get tough, emotions often disappear, but discipline remains steady. It becomes the inner voice that tells you to keep moving forward, no matter how slow the progress may seem. One of the biggest myths about successful people is that they are always motivated. In reality, many of them struggle with the same feelings of doubt and fatigue as have trained themselves to act. Despite those feelings, they understand that success is not built on perfect days. It is built on consistent effort across many imperfect days. Discipline also creates confidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-trust grows stronger. When you say you will work for 2 hours and you actually do it, your mind begins to believe that you are reliable. That belief becomes a powerful source of strength over time. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, someone who finishes what they start. Motivation, on the other hand, can sometimes create a cycle of excitement followed by disappointment. You feel inspired, you make big plans, and you promise yourself a completely new life starting tomorrow. But when the excitement fades and you fail to maintain the effort, frustration appears. This cycle repeats again and again, leaving many people feeling stuck. Discipline breaks this cycle. Instead of chasing big emotional highs, it focuses on small, consistent actions. It understands that progress is rarely dramatic in the beginning. Growth often happens quietly in the background. Day by day, small improvements accumulate until the results finally become visible. Imagine two people starting the same journey. The first person works only when motivation strikes. Some days they work extremely hard, but other days they do nothing. Their progress moves forward and backward constantly. The second person follows discipline. They may not work with explosive energy every day, but they show up consistently. They put in the effort, even when it feels ordinary. After months and years, the disciplined person moves far ahead. This is why discipline ultimately wins. It turns dreams into actions and actions into results. It keeps you moving when excitement fades. It keeps you focused when distractions appear. It keeps you committed when the road becomes difficult. However, motivation is not useless. Motivation can still play an important role. It can remind you why you started. It can inspire you to take the first step. It can give you energy during certain moments. But the key is to use motivation as a starting point, not as a foundation. The real foundation must always be discipline. The decision to show up every day, the decision to keep learning, improving, and growing regardless of your mood, the decision to move forward even when nobody is watching. If you truly want to change your life, stop waiting for motivation to appear. Start building discipline instead. Create a routine that pushes you closer to your goals. Commit to small actions that you can repeat every day. Protect your focus and eliminate the excuses that slow you down. Over time, you will realize something powerful. The person you become through discipline is stronger than the person who waits for motivation. You develop resilience, patience, and determination. You learn that progress is not about feeling ready. It is about acting even when you don't feel ready. At the end of the day, motivation may start the journey, but discipline decides the destination. When the excitement fades and the road becomes challenging, discipline is the force that keeps you walking. And the people who keep walking, no matter how slow the progress may seem, are always the ones who eventually reach the top.